morning, guys. I thought I'd make a video and touch base on this misconception as to what spiritual or spirituality or being spiritual is and is not, because there is a lot of misinformation going around and it's keeping those of us who have a great amount of power from doing anything to help. So here goes. We are energy beings. We call that spirit or soul. We are in, by all accounts, a physical form. We call that matter. Because our actions while here on this planet historically have been those of suffering and warfare and conquering, we are a selfish, half-barbaric soul group. Now, that's fine, because by all accounts, we're probably along the lines of a baby soul or a toddler soul. And we're learning. And so, kids are selfish, a little destructive, have temper tantrums and call each other names and act all kinds of poor behavior choices. So I'm sure from the higher perspectives, it's probably fine. However, at some point, a child does need to grow up, right? If the child refuses to grow up, then problems set in. Then, we can't do for ourselves. We can't cut our own steak. We can't get our own job. We can't have our own mortgage. We are still relying on other people to make things comfortable for us. As a soul, we are in the same situation. And this idea that is circulating on social media platforms is that if you're spiritual, you don't get involved in worldly things. Pish posh, it's worldly. That's about finances and government, and we as spiritualists do not get involved in such lower things. What a crock of crap. Seriously, guys. We are creators. Now, we are baby creators, but we are creators. Where in the world does it make sense that we would not be actively participating in our creation? What? It blows my mind. And that there are people who love this excuse. They love it because, honestly, it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable to have to get involved, to possibly make waves, to possibly have someone not like us, to possibly take a stand that someone might not agree with. It's uncomfortable. So it's way more convenient to say, oh, I'm spiritualist. I don't get involved in politics or in finance or in the healthcare system or none of those things. That's for them to do. And I'm just going to be over here in my spiritual world. It's just another psyops, guys. I'm sorry. We're supposed to be involved. We're supposed to be growing up. We're supposed to be taking accountability. We're supposed to stop blaming everybody else for the problems. The moon or the retrograde or the government or that political group or that religion or that group of people. We're supposed to stop blaming. We're supposed to stop calling names. We're supposed to all look around and see the very, very obvious signs of tyranny that are among us. And this happens because we're baby souls. We are relatively selfish, definitely barbaric, and lazy because we're babies. Okay, fair enough. This whole 2020 should bring to light the amount of corruption that has always been for quite some time that we have been turning a blind eye to and excusing for various reasons. So we have human exploitation, we have government corruption, we have wars that are ongoing. How much more obvious does it need to be that there are dark forces on this planet? There are a group of souls, of a child mind souls, that are wanting their way and their stuff. How much more obvious does it need to be? Now, these things are supposed to be so in our face, which they are, that we're supposed to get triggered, which is good, so we can work through our triggers, so we can come to the realization that we are feeling vulnerable and scared, so we can take action to moving out of that mindset. Because while it is true we are going to have fears, we do need to build our faith in ourselves stronger than the fears that are in us. We have to be assured as to what we are, our nature, and trust that we will get through whatever adversity is coming up when we put our energies and our actions into it. Not, I'm gonna sit back and just wait for them to tell me when it's okay to breathe clean air. That's ridiculous. Okay, so the whole purpose here is to remind us all that we are creators, and by our absence of actively participating in all of it, every day, 24/7, holding accountable those who are making choices on our behalf, we're supposed to learn the importance of growing up, the importance of why we need to be involved all the time. The fact that things are so bad right now, and honestly, if you don't think things are bad, if you don't see the level of corruption and tyranny that are happening right now on this planet, I'm sorry. I know it's scary, but you have to see it. You have to check under the bed for the monsters. You gotta look in the closet. You gotta face it. Because only through facing it can you come to the realization of what happens when we don't participate in all of creation. When we don't participate with the intention, the combined intention of all of us, in creating a world where everybody wins. This is what happened. Only a few win. The rest of us have more and more freedoms and rights taken away, are dumbed down by fear, misinformation, disempowered, and hate one another. It's gotta stop, guys. We are supposed to be creating a world, learning from our mistakes, creating a world to where everybody wins. A realm in which we can come and experience physical, what it's like to be in a physical form. We can create clean air, clean water, clean food, a healthy population, a compassionate and healthy population. Everybody is supportive, and we move and we refine and we refine and we refine. That's what we're supposed to learn from this mistake of what we did by not being involved. But what I'm seeing is spiritualists, alleged spiritualists, saying that they don't get involved with such things. You're a creator in a realm where you're supposed to create. How is politics and the structure in which you live your life not part of creation? I'm confused. Explain that to me. I think it's really just a creative, convenient excuse to why you don't want to face your demons and you don't want to get involved because you're scared you're going to lose friends. And again, that's fine from a baby soul mind, but at some point you have to grow up and be an adult soul mind and start taking accountability, quit blaming everybody else for the problems that we're in, and get involved. And as we get involved, when we put our focus on something, energies come to support that focus. When enough of us put the focus on creating a world where everyone wins, energies come in, consciousness affects the photon, energies come in to support that outcome. But to sit back, any of us, to sit back and say, I'm gonna wait until the election because he's gonna fix it. Oh my gosh, give me a break. Maybe he will, but maybe he won't. And the only thing that's gonna make it successful, regardless of who gets elected, is where we are, because our energies affect the actions of others. And anyone who has studied the meditation effect knows this to be true. It's done over and over and over again. We know this. So if you want a better world, what do you have to do? Really? Sit back and wait for other people to do it for you? No, that's a child mind. That's the equivalent of mommy and daddy coming to save the day. Now, speaking of saving the day, maybe there's going to be a solar event. Maybe there will be a rapture. Maybe there will be some alien race that comes and saves us all. Hey, that'd be great. Hope I make it. But we cannot sit back passively and wait for that to happen. We have to take active participation in the world in which we're willing to create. We have to have a willing heart to do that. So yes, prayer and meditation, absolutely. Sacred ceremony, fabulous. However, that doesn't mean you don't get involved by going to polls or by talking to those in politics or by talking to your bosses who are in the field of healthcare or science or research or financial system, like whatever. You are each sprinkled all over the collective in a manner in which you can awaken yourself and empower others around you. That's the point. It is not to wait until those who are in a group who are acting like barbaric children who want complete control, a globalist agenda. We are not going to sit back and wait for them to change their mind. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, that's beneath me. I'm spiritual. Are you kidding me? This is a realm in which we get to experience our creations. You don't like what's happening right now? Well, that's because we all helped to create it, which means that to the level in which you're involved with the exterior of your creation, you obviously cannot stay that way. You obviously cannot sit back and say, I don't do politics. I don't do religion. I don't want to make anybody mad at me. You can't take that role anymore. Yeah, you're going to trigger people. Yeah, you might lose some friends or some business. But you'll get other things ushered into your life to fill those little spots that are now open. So you can't worry about it too much. There's a bigger game afoot. And if we allow ourselves to continue to get lulled into submission, shaming conspiracy theories. Do you know I actually heard a podcast where the reason why conspiracy theorists are a problem to society is because they encourage questioning the narrative. What? That was the argument because it helps you to think that maybe there's more going on than what you're being told. That's the problem? Seriously? Oh my goodness gracious. This world is in a crazy predicament, and right now it is anyone's game. So I want to encourage you, for all of you spiritualists or those trying to be more spiritual, trying to be a lighthouse, a motivator, a truth speaker, a way shower, please do not fall into the trap of being passive and just trusting things are going to be fine. Oh, this is God's plan. What if it's not? What if God's plan is for us to create what we want to experience? What if that's his plan? And here we're like, whatever you want. And he's like, no, it's you, like whatever you want. I'm not willing to sit by and wait for someone to save me. I'm going to create a world in which I want. And I want to encourage any of you who want the same to do the same. Yes, visualize, meditate, pray, absolutely. But you have to take a stand. You have to get involved. That doesn't mean you need to beat down doors and scream and riot and protest. It just means you need to be active. You need to recognize what's going on around. You need to be willing to look at lots of data, not just the one narrative that you're being forced upon this whole year. You need to be willing to look deeper than what it is so that we can be triggered, so we can work through our triggers, so we can become more and more fearless, so we can become more and more empowered. There are no angelic races that are disempowered, right? So if we want to one day evolve to that, we have to start here. Get out of the baby soul mind and grow up a little bit into at least the teenage or young adult soul mind. So there you go. That's what I got for you. Hopefully this has been helpful. If so, feel free to like it and share it. And in the meantime, guys, good luck on your journey. Go out there and create a world where we all win. Namaste.